It's very special, So that's how it is. He's born in New Zealand first, then Australia, then New Zealand and India, as per our time pattern. Hare Krishna. No, actually, Krishna is a gift to the world from India, actually. So it is. It's India who should take the full credit for it. Wonderful. So we have Sanjay Prabhu. You're feeling all right? Sanjay Prabhu, it's okay. You have to write down. You can't speak. Okay.
Can
That's
speak
it.
a bit, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. Take care. Take care. No problem. No problem. Hare Krishna. Please excuse me. It's a little cold today. It's rainy and cold. Perfect for Krishna's birth. And with the fast and all is with my lack of fat in the body, I get cold more. I feel cold more, so I've got to wear my beanie and warm it up properly here. Hare Krishna. Okay, so today we have been celebrating the appearance day of Lord Balaram 2 weeks ago. Then last week we had continuation of celebration of Lord Balaram, and then um, today we are continuing the celebration for Krishna Janmashtami. We had Krishna Janmashtami also discussion last week, so the tempo is built up, and everybody, I'm sure, are looking forward for today. Very excited about today, and we had our own festivals at home with Mangalarti and altars and decorated all. I could see some nice decoration in Sanjay Prabhu's home also for the festival, which is very good, wonderful. All the best. We also had altar decorations and yes, special prasadam and bhoga offering and busy. I'm sure the same with everybody's home. That's very important. That let Krishna be born in your home. Unless you want Krishna to be born somewhere else, it's your choice. But we are teaching you the choice of let Krishna be born in your home and let the whole family come in together in the celebration. Jai. Shri Krishna Janmashtami Mahotsav ki Jai. So we had my realizations last week, and I'll be speaking today also, but mainly you'll find our devotees from the Leaders Sangha who would be speaking today on their realizations. And please mind you that they may not always be from Srimad Bhagavatam because our training is that, and our insistence is this, that whatever you have learned from Bhagavad Gita, you can also have appearance of Krishna. It's not only Srimad Bhagavatam. Also from the small books of Prabhupada, from Science of Self-Realization also you can have appearance of Krishna. So you don't have to always go to the pastimes and all that. Yeah, pastimes are important, provided we go step by step. So we understand the philosophy behind it. And only then it becomes relishable because then pastime doesn't remain a story. It comes with the philosophy. So tomorrow then when you join the philosophy, when you understand the philosophy, then you can understand the pastimes. Yeah. So Krishna's Leela and pastimes are completely nectarian. And with this nectar, philosophy is very, very important. Yeah. So please, if you can switch on your cameras and join us, that'd be wonderful. Now I'm just waiting. Who would like to take the lead to speak for the Leader Sangha? The first points and realizations. Up to you. So you won't be able to speak today, right? You're not able to speak. You had mentioned to me.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I I can try, Prabhuji, but I'll be a bit lower tone.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Have your time. If you want to speak, if you can, then go slow and speak. That's perfectly all right.
Okay.
Wonderful. So you want to do that?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, wonderful. Excellent. So here it is. You're on the main screen now. And as usual, we start the session with you. And we hope that you get well soon very fast. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, His Grace Amrish Prabhu, Her Grace Punupragya Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Smarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing this wonderful program on the auspicious day of Shri Krishna Janmashtami. Shri Krishna Janmashtami Mahotsav ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. I wish you all very happy Shri Krishna Janmashtami. And yes, Prabhuji, it's a very special day for all of us. So I prepared some realization, Prabhuji. on this auspicious day. So I'll start with the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let me therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who has become the son of Vasudeva, the pleasure of Devaki, the boy of Nanda, and the other cowherdmen of Vrindavan, and the enlivener of the cows and senses. Jai. So, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the source of all the incarnations. The pastimes of the Lord are bewildering to the common man, and to relish these pastimes, we need to be qualified and take shelter of the bona fide spiritual master. When we say qualified, what does it mean? So, qualification needs to be earned. It is called adhikar. Srila Prabhupada explained three categories of devotees, Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, and Uttam Adhikari. So Kanishta is neophyte who just started and learning. Madhyam is intermediate, and Uttam is Mahabhagavat, who sees Lord in everyone. So I'm not qualified to discuss the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, as I'm in the process of learning devotion service by the causeless mercy of Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. So the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are bewildering to common man, and it is stated by Bhishma Dev also, one of the 12th authorities on devotion service. It's another verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Canto 1, Chapter 9, verse 18. Esa vai Bhagwan Sakshat Adyo Narayana Puman Mohayan Mayaya Lokam Gudhascharati Vrishnishu. Translation. This Sri Krishna is not other than the inconceivable, original personality of Godhead. He is the first Narayan, the supreme enjoyer, but he is moving amongst the descendants of King Vrishni, just like one of us, and he is bewildering us with his self-created energy. So Srila Prabhupada are saying in the purport that Krishna's movement among human beings is another sort of bewilderment. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita that fools deride me when I descend in human form. So to understand and realize the real position of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, and our constitutional position, we require bona fide authorities like Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, who understand the degraded position of modern civilization and give us the practical solutions. And the best solution is Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. So hearing, chanting and remembering Krishna to purify us in this age of Kali. So on this I want to discuss the points from one of the verse in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 14, which talks about the symptoms of Mahatma and who is the real Mahatma or pure devotee of the Lord. So the verse is like this. Satatam kirtayanto ma yatantascha drida vrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So there are 4 activities described by the Lord of a pure devotee or a Mahatma. So number 1 is always chanting my glories. By always chanting the glories of the Lord, we get purified. Pure devotees are pure because of always chanting the glories of the Lord. This is purification. Now we can think or ask that what is purification? Purification from the material contamination. From time immemorial we are here in this material world, and the sense gratification become the purpose, and we have forgot our real purpose of life. That's why the Lord himself comes and sends his confidential servants to spread this message of reminding us of our real purpose of life, which is pure devotion service to the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada says that we need to engage in devotion service, otherwise we will engage in sense gratification. We cannot stand in the middle. Either we are doing sense gratification or devotion service. So if we are not progressing in devotion service, then we are lacking the focus, because sense gratification and devotion service cannot go hand in hand. So when we chant the glories of the Lord, hearing process is there and remembrance of the Lord is also there when we contemplate on it. So this way the Shravanam, Kirtanam and Vishnu Smaranam is there or is done. So these are the um, um, first 3 parts of the Navda Bhakti, or 9 processes of devotion service. And start from Shravanam. And number 2 point is endeavoring with great determination. When we are always engaged in hearing and chanting, then we can act with great determination. Now, in the nectar of instructions, it says that utsahan nischayat dhairya, being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, and being patient. So devotion service is performed with, first of all, joyfully, and be enthusiastic and great determination, because our faith in Krishna must be 100%. Srila Prabhupada are saying in the purport that certain activities which are called determined, such as fasting on Ekadasi and festival days. So following rules and regulations and regulative principles strictly is our determination, our faith in Krishna. This determination comes when we follow the instructions step by step and strictly, not with the attitude of go with the flow, because everyone is going with the flow, like herd mentality. But becoming of the devotee of the Lord is not sheep. Pure devotee is lion and fearless and bold. We can see Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev and our seniors boldly they are preaching, and they always encouraging us becoming bold in our preaching. So this determination and boldness comes from purity, because purity is a force. Srila Prabhupada says that. So and and when we follow these regulative principles very faithfully, honestly, then we get purity. Now, the next number 3 point is bowing down before me. So, doing Dandvat Pranam to Krishna or to Srila Prabhupada and to Srila Gurudev, this is the part of devotion service. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 34, Lord says that मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु माम एवास्यसि युक्तैत्वम् आत्मनं मत्प्रायणः. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So here Krishna says that Mad Yaji, Mam Namaskuru, offer obeisances and worship me. So this will show and increase our surrender to the Lord. People ask about doing yoga asanas for fitness. If we offer obeisances and Danvat pranams to the Lord and Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev all the times as we enter and leaving the temple or altar room, it is better than this so-called yoga nowadays. Although the real yoga is different, we understood even from Bhagavad Gita, the real yoga or the bhakti yoga, we need to understand that. So bowing down before Krishna make us humble and show us surrender. So that's a part of devotion service. And number 4 is perpetually worship me with devotion. Now, what's perpetually means? So perpetually means repeatedly or so frequent as to seem that it is endless and uninterrupted. So devotion service must be uninterrupted and unmotivated. So this perpetually. And this is also referred in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Verse 6. Actually, Guru Maharaj liked Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, because it's a lot of, all the verses are very, very good and very important. So the verse says that, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaje ahetuki apratihata yayatma suprasiddhyati. Translation. The supreme occupation or dharma for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotion service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotion service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. So this word nitya yukta, perpetually engaged, is when we go to, this happens when we reach this purified stage of spontaneous love for Krishna. This is actually a Uttam Adhikari stage, or this is Mahatma. Srila Prabhupada are saying in the purport that the Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. His symptoms are described here. So actually, all these symptoms comes automatically when we develop deep attachment and love for Krishna. The process is there and the process is proven. So this process is practical. This is not just like a book knowledge or far, far away in the sky. It is here. You do it and you see the result. Another understanding of Nitya Yukta I got that daily routine of our sadhana. No matter where you are or having the facilities or not, or a situation might be difficult, we always can remember Krishna by chanting, singing the arti, even if we don't have a paraphernalia, but we still can sing the arti and study the books, or if we don't have books, we can listen the lectures of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev. So this is Nitya Yukta. So we do not break this Nitya Yukta, and slowly, slowly, attachment to Krishna will increase. So we can see these the four main points from this verse, that what is the symptoms of a Mahatma, a pure devotee of the Lord. Because when we follow, because we have to start where we are standing, we cannot jump, the ladder or jump above us, because that would be what you call tragic, because it's not our real position. We have to start from where we are, and slowly we can cultivate uh, pure devotional service. Um, because pure devotee of the Lord, they showed us, you know, like Srila Prabhupada showed us by the example and by his acharan, and Srila Gurudev also showed us practically how to do it. So these festivals are really, really good opportunities when we can celebrate, come together, celebrate, and good for the preaching as well. So that's what I understood from these words from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. As I said, that I'm not very qualified to discuss the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, but whatever I have studied, or I just discussed that on the points. So once again, I will wish everyone very happy Krishna Janmashtami. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Sanjay Prabhu. You started off well with the wonderful realizations. Thank you very much, as usual. And yes, we can do Nitya Yukta. We all have to become Nitya Yukta. That is correct. And we all have to become Mahatmas. There is no option. That is what we teach in Hare Krishna WECAN. Don't think that only one person somewhere is Mahatma. Everybody else are followers. Oh, none. Why? That may be correct, but we should be all becoming Mahatmas. What is the meaning of devotional service? What are we doing? Yeah. So that's correct. Also, in these festivals, where you see that you got Abhishek happening and there's dancing and all this colors and all this, it's for mainly for the congregation, for their enjoyment, for not Rasika devotees. And which is good for everyone. Also, it is the case. Nothing wrong with it. It's for everybody. But still, the Rasikas are those who are more interested in discussing the pastimes of Krishna, the philosophy of Krishna, and sitting together, which others who are not devotees, they are not interested. They will not be able to sit in our program here. Yeah, this is boring, just philosophy is given and that's it, not even pastimes and not even dancing going on, bathing is going on, kirtans are going on. This is not happening here. But this is how the six Goswamis used to do their Ishta Goshtis, with this relation. So we also did our own programs. But we're coming together here to hearing, because Shravanam is the beginning part in devotional service. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu insisted. So bhakti starts with Shravanam, hearing. It ends with Shravanam, hearing. Don't think once you advance you don't hear. No, no, you hear more. As you advance, you hear more. You know. So this is how it is. Everything about Krishna is very interesting. So that's why this is very unique. Or we are actually bucking the trend, fighting the trend of general populace. Otherwise, you say Janmashtami or festivals, when you go in the temples, also they do Abhishek and big events, and people are there, and pomp and ceremony, and all this is going on. Big feast and all. Here, there's no feast. Here's no pomp and ceremony. Here, we do pomp and ceremony at home. Feast is at home. But sit and discuss. So, this is what Vrindavan, the six Goswamis would do. We're trying to follow their footsteps. You want to say something, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Yeah, I remember I was reading Guru Maharaj was saying that because first of all, we attracted to, as you say, pompous ceremonies in temple and different preparations. Go there for prasadam, very yummy prasadam, different like chappan bhog. Guru Maharaj said that you should cook yourself. So when you cook yourself, you only tend to make just one item, because you just wanna prepare it, eat it, and get out of the kitchen. But if you go somewhere and you expect like, oh, it has to be this, also be there, this also, like so many items you expect here. So that's remind me, Prabhuji, about the pompous ceremonies. Of course, like Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, we should celebrate with so many items. and so many things, and so people get attracted. But this is one of the point for it. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes, correct. At your home, you can have, and
Yes.
celebrate. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Yes, who would like to go next now? Thank you. The leader Sangha. Please restrict to what you studied, and if don't give references of Prabhupada or Guru Maharaj which they have given. We should give our own personal references, what we've studied. So please bear in mind when you give the references. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Wishing everyone a very, very happy Krishna Janmashtami. Thank you, Sanjay Prabhu, for starting us off, as always, and giving very nice realizations. I've also prepared some notes. It's on my computer, so I'll be referring to them. But yeah, there was some points that Sanjay Prabhu was saying that I was also, meditating on, and was part of my realizations as well. Yes, although I'm not qualified at all to speak on these subject matters, as I'm still, very my knowledge is surface level and not very granular, but I'll still try to give some realization on this auspicious day. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my realization. So the first point is that that I was meditating on is that Lord Krishna is the super soul and he's the fountainhead, and in the context of the Bhagavad Gita in the Mahabharata, where Lord Krishna is teaching Arjuna, Arjuna is the atomic soul who's forgetful of his real nature. And so he requires to be enlightened, or he requires to be, taught by Lord Krishna. And, for myself and for the devotees, that is also the importance of a bona fide spiritual master who enlightens us, about Lord Krishna, about our position, and it takes us out, from the gutter. So that was one small point that I just wanted to start off with, was the importance of the bona fide spiritual master in our journey, in my journey in Krishna consciousness. So we've discussed a lot in the classes that, as an individual spirit soul, being we're covered by Maya, we're covered by the illusory energy. And so we become separated from the association of Krishna, of Lord Krishna. And we come to know through Srila Prabhupada that this is through our own doing, because we wanted to be, or I wanted to be in Lord Krishna's position. So, this is quite a basic, this is quite basic knowledge at this point, but it's very hard for me to understand that how could I think that I want to lord it over, Lord Krishna, being in that position. But then I think that, I see myself that in everyday life, I feel like I want to be in control of everything. And so when I'm not in control of something in my day-to-day life, I can't handle it. So what to speak of being in the spiritual world, being in that position of having attained transcendental loving devotional service, and still wanting to lord it over Lord Krishna, still having that material desire. It's very, very mystical, to me. It's very, very hard to understand. But at the same time, in Kali Yuga, we have such a great opportunity, and such a great opportunity provided by Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and more recently by Srila Prabhupada, in giving us a nice and easy and true, way of reaching the absolute truth. But I remember in the classes we would give the description of fire and a spark of fire. So if we are in association of the Supreme Lord, or we want to be in association of the Supreme Lord as a spark is to the fire, and we do that through following the instructions of Guru and Krishna, but ultimately through the bona fide Guru. But that's because we are part and parcel of Krishna, we are sparks of the fire. But if we are out of this association, then that spark is extinguished. So that's what our aim is, to always have that spark. So in order to have that association of Lord Krishna, and to know about his transcendental birth, his name, his qualities, his pastimes, these things are very important. As we mentioned, it's very important to study on and to meditate on, because that makes us eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. From my reading with Srila Prabhupada will emphasize this a lot, that we have to always have that association of Lord Krishna, and we do that through this process of devotional service. And Sanjay Prabhu also mentioned this verse, which was Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Verse 6, which was Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo, Yato Bhaktir Adhokshaja, Ahai Tokiya Priti Hata, Yatma Suprasidati. So I'm reading the translation very quickly. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The supreme occupation or dharma for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. I also know that this is a topic that, or a subject matter that has come across in our classes, not just in the beginners or in the intermediate, but in all classes, even common programs. This idea of transcendental loving devotional service without any pollution of material motivation or material desire. So, the idea of serving Lord Krishna as a servant and Lord Krishna as a master. Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that it's the most congenial or the most pleasing form of this intimacy or intimate relationship with Lord Krishna. It was a very nice point that I was meditating on, that was given by Srila Prabhupada, that this idea of service. As we've discussed, that wanting to or loving someone, to want to serve them, to want to serve someone that you love is the most natural form of expression of that love. So in our service to Lord Krishna, that's how we ultimately realize our constitutional position. As a devotional service progresses, and in a neophyte stage, I've got no way to reach that stage, but just to develop like transcendental loving devotional service, as Srila Prabhupada constantly says, that is the aim. And in our programs we emphasize a lot about practical implementation, and how to practically achieve things. And we always talk about in any condition of life we must try and add Lord Krishna in our lives. And Srila Prabhupada also says this: in any condition of life, you have to engage in devotional service to the Lord. So we talk about centering Lord Krishna in our lives, and that also can be like it can relate to your name, your fame, your social status, whatever, your finances, your leisure, whatever you're doing. If you can try and keep Krishna in the center of your activities and of your decisions, or of my decisions, that is the actual core meaning of being in any state of material existence and adding Lord Krishna in our lives. And ultimately, over time, Krishna and Guru will show their mercy upon us and give elevate our position, from wherever we're at. And so this really hones in on the importance of the transcendental name of Lord Krishna. As we were talking about, even hearing the name of Shravanam, Shravanam is the beginning of devotional service and the end, what we hear at the end. So this transcendental name and hearing of Lord Krishna, we talk about the Yuga Dharma, which is the Sankirtan Mahayagna, which is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Srila Prabhupada has said that even if you utter the name of Lord Krishna unconsciously, or even, by nature of circumstance, that can give you the freedom from the cycle of birth and death, even unconsciously. That is the power of the name of Lord Krishna. So, as we all know, the name and Lord Krishna are one and the same. To me, it's as in a neophyte position, it's just words. I'm merely just, repeating what I've studied. But these are points that I have to constantly remind myself to, go over constantly and remember and meditate on. And the beauty of this, of the name of the Lord, as we said, is that in any position, in any situation, you can chant. But Srila Prabhupada says that we should do it without any material desire. So there should not be any material desire in our chanting, even though it's possible to do so. If you want to elevate your material position and you chant, that's still some progress, but it's not as practices of bhakti yoga and practices and follows of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev. That's not my aim. But again, it's just words to not have any material desires while chanting. I have material desires. I'm not sure about other people, but I can't give that up. But how can I give that up? Just the process of devotional service, just constantly being sincere in that process is what can elevate, your position. But that is what will please Lord Krishna. And that ultimately is the purpose of, my life, the purpose of our lives. And I'd just like to refer to this Bhagavad Gita verse, chapter 2, verse 39, from Bhagavad Gita. I'll just read it in the translation. Esha te bhita sankhye buddhir yoge tvimam shunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. So the translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. This is in reference to Lord Krishna's position as I mentioned earlier, as a super soul, and Arjuna as the atomic individual soul. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. So, the aim is to work for the satisfaction of Krishna without the desire for fruitive results. And that is this idea of buddhi yoga, working in devotional service without the desire or material desire. And Srila Prabhupada says that this is what gives us that transcendental bliss. And this idea of working without, or working in devotional service without any fruitive desire. And it's very true, because we are letting Krishna take charge of our lives. And ultimately then, by doing so, the sincere devotee can achieve all the transcendental qualities by the grace or by the mercy of the Lord, and by the mercy of the Guru, without any actual endeavor to acquire that knowledge. So we as we say that just by reading Srila Prabhupada's books, just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can reach that elevated position in Kali Yuga that before was very, very difficult, required different, different circumstances. It required a different level of devotional service, or required a different level of understanding. We can simply do it just by chanting, just by hearing the names of the Lord. And for us, we, as followers of His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami, the best way for me to try and reach a certain level of devotional service and to awaken my dormant relationship with Lord Krishna is by preaching. And we've mentioned many times in the programs, taking the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a prime example of this this idea of preaching, this Sankirtan Mahayagna, and being relevant for all of us. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said that those that are born in a Indian family are very fortunate, and they must broadcast this message to the rest of the world, primarily with primarily referring to the Bhagavad Gita. And so for me, this will force me to think about Lord Krishna. This will force me to be engaged in that devotional service. And I was meditating a bit more on this point that for myself, and I'm sure for a lot of youth as well, the entire education system is geared towards sense gratification. I remember Srila Prabhupada refers to this point in, I think, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2 as well, or maybe Chapter 1. But Srila Prabhupada says this too, that he actually likens the material or modern education to a slaughterhouse. So it's a slaughterhouse of the mind, which is very strong words. But ultimately it's true. Like when when I was at university or at high school, everything was predominantly geared towards atheism and, challenging, although challenging isn't necessarily wrong, but in the guise of challenging, your beliefs or challenging what's been sort of what you've grown up with, they've actually made you, or they sort of code it in a way that's completely anti, or completely atheist, as opposed to being a free thinker. So while as the entire education system is geared towards sense gratification, it's very important for myself, and as I'm sure a lot of the youth feel this way, who are practicing Krishna consciousness, that it's very important for us to try and understand these instructions of Srila Prabhupada, to understand these instructions of Srila Gurudev and what we've been learning. And we try our best to implement it as Kali Yuga progresses, as it's only going to get harder. But as I also said, that we have a lot of gratefulness and a lot of mercy, causeless mercy bestowed upon us by Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, that according to the time, place, and circumstance, we just think that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born 500 years ago, just 500 years ago, and Lord Krishna was born just 5,000 years ago. When you consider the entire, timeline of of where we are currently. So Srila Prabhupada has very mercifully chewed the scriptures and given us that blueprint to save ourselves from the cycle of birth and death, and ultimately to awaken a dormant relationship with Lord Krishna. So I was just after doing some reading and coming and forming my realizations, I just ended up feeling very grateful to Srila Prabhupada and to the mercy of His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, as well as my parents and the preaching of Hare Krishna WECAN. That we have such a big opportunity. I have such a big opportunity, and all the ingredients are right there. and all I have to do is be sincere and study. And it's not that you have to give. It's not that you have to give anything up. Ultimately, the aim is to give up, but we can just add, Krishna in our lives. And Krishna is waiting for us to enter into his abode. So yeah, that's some of my realizations on this very auspicious day. Thank you very much. As I said, I'm very unqualified to speak on all these subject matters, but thank you once again for allowing me to share my realization. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Krishna Sadhu Krishna, for your wonderful realization there. So, yes, that's right. Every sincere devotee of Krishna, he does, what he does is reads about Krishna and repeats about Krishna. That's it. Doesn't add, doesn't subtract. As per time, place, and circumstances, he gives instructions. And once you're preaching, people are going to come to you asking for how do you solve this? Can you solve that? Can you do this? Can you do that? So you're in that position of becoming their Shiksha Gurus there. So there is a reason why it is very important to preach. You see? And the last instruction which Maharaj had given, broad-based to everybody, Guru Maharaj, was that we must ourselves study Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and give our practical realizations to the general mass of people. Otherwise, they will not be interested, Maharaj said. To make them interested, we must be doing this. Do the hard work. So that's why we are preaching this point, So all of you have got this same as you're discussing on Wednesday, that Prabhupada talks about, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaks about having the even to chant the holy names of the Lord, one requires an authority. You cannot chant on your own. Instruction should be coming from your higher authority, a guru. Or you can't chant on your own. Authority is available. So that means anyone who's telling you chant is automatically the guru there. You see, the bhakti begins with this stage. So it is very, very important. And that's the reason why, although we say preaching is important, all of you are preachers, it's not that simple to become preacher. So we got all these stages, beginner stage, intermediate stage, so leader Sangha stage, and only those who are serious, very serious will be moved to the leader stage. You see? Otherwise, no problem. You can remain where you are, because that's why we are teaching you to become preachers. And preachers is a position of a guru. You see? We may not give Diksha, but it is a position of a Shiksha Guru. It's very, very important. And we cannot afford to be a non-conversant. We may not know everything in the scriptures. It's correct. But at least we should be very sincere in our approach of as it is. And Prabhupada did exactly the same as it is. Prabhupada did not invent anything new. As Prabhupada said, you should do the same thing. Don't invent anything new, just repeat the words. That's it. So very nice. These points I realized from what you spoke. Thank you very much. Who would like to go next now? Please feel free. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Happy Janmashtami for all devotees, and thank you, Amrish Prabhuji. Thank you, Purnamada Devidashi Mataji, and thank you, Krishna Samarpan Das, for organizing this wonderful class and allowed us to give our realization, practical realization. What I realize, Amrish always, the practical knowledge, what I got it, and as I devotees, uh, Sanjay Prabhuji and Krishna Samarpan Das is very nice realization. And Amrish always emphasize on practical things like what we get that knowledge from our Namahata class. Yes, I do remember Amrish we just mentioned that the chanting comes from authority. I just remember because when I joined Namahata like 10 years before, But before that, I had chanting beads. One of ISKCON devotee gave me. It was with me for almost 5 6 years, but I never. Once only I tried, but even I couldn't chant one mal complete. But the interest comes from the association of the devotees, and that only came like authority, as Amrish said that, and it was like not by force, but I asked for, and that is being continued till now. That is the powerful association of the devotees. So today we are celebrating here the most auspicious event of Sri Krishna Janmashtami. That's a appearance of the Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Janmashtami is not only the cake and candles, but it is about remembering Krishna, his mercy, his beautiful pastimes, and how we can become dear to Lord Krishna. So Lord comes only when the decline in dharma or rise in adharma, and he appears and protect us, devotees, protect devotees and destroy the wicked and re-establish the dharma. So Krishna came to protect the pure devotees, like we have seen that in Mahabharata, that Bhishma, Prahlad, and Arjun, and destroy the evil kings like Kamsa. But more importantly, Krishna comes to perform the sweet pastimes, and that is very important, and that attracts each and every devotees, I believe. And so his birth is also divine. The Lord Krishna, he born in the midnight in Mathura to Devaki and Vasudeva. He appears in four armed forms first and then turn into a baby. So that shows that he's a Lord himself. When Vasudeva carried him across the Yamuna by the fear of Kamsa, because of the Yoga Maya's influence, all the guards they slept, and Vasudeva carried Lord Krishna across the Yamuna river to Gokul. Krishna was raised by Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. This whole pastime is full of divine arrangement, and it shows that Krishna is not bound by material nature. He is the controller of time, space, and karma. So one who knows the transcendental nature of the Lord and his activities, they while when once we are in the remembrance of the pastime of the Lord, and even while leaving the body, once you like Krishna Samarpan Das, he mentioned that when you leaving the body or when you are really thinking of Lord Krishna at the time of death, then but for that you have to really have a good association and continuously chanting the name of the Lord Krishna. So what the chanting actually Maharaj always says that chanting purifies our heart. Actually, it establishes the relation with Lord. But how we can do that? That's only the sincere chanting, reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So that chanting actually uh, establishes our relation with Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has given us the name of the Lord, Sankirtana movement. He has introduced the Sankirtana movement, which we are following through Srila Prabhupada. And that chanting is actually purifies us. Not only purifies the chanting, if you are sincerely chanting, the Lord guides us within like a father. Because what Lord is with us, He's guiding us because he doesn't want us to live here in this Prithvi Tala. Lord wants every one of us to be with Lord. So his pastime in Gokul and Vrindavan, like stealing the butter, charming with all the gopis, and the dancing with the cowherd boys, even killing the demons like Putana, Agasura, and Kalia when Lord was only 5 years old. Even lifting the Govardhan hill to protect all the Vrindavanas when Lord was only 5 years. That shows that is how powerful and what strength he's got. So in this way, the Krishna and the Balram, they passed their childhood in the land of Vrindavana and performing wonderful activities. So when we celebrating the Janmashtami, we should remember that, I should remember that, chant more rounds on the particular day. We do, devotees, they don't celebrate only the Janmashtami on this particular day, but we always chant continuously, not only on the Janmashtami, but when it is a Janmashtami, that's a auspicious day, we should chant more rounds than normal, read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, cook and offer bhoga with love at home. Like Sanjay Guru mentioned that when we go to the temple, we can see that bhoga, chappan bhogas and all, but when you cook for the Lord with love, Lord accepts it. And that gives you really satisfaction. One get really satisfaction. Most importantly, actually, one must remember the Krishna continuously on this auspicious day. Mahavishnu Goswami always says that Janmashtami means to invite Krishna into our hearts permanently, not only for just a day. He encourages us to live in such a way that Krishna feels happy and reside in our hearts continuously. Krishna is not only is not an ordinary person, but he is the Supreme Lord. So worshipping Krishna directly in the best way, if we really want to attain the perfection, one should worship Krishna. Sorry, excuse me, Krishna directly. So when we talk about the surrender to Krishna, materially, actually people, they try to make happiness through the material things, but that material happiness is a temporary. Our real goal should be to go back to the Godhead, to the Krishna. That surrendering means to follow the instructions from our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the teaching from Amrish Prabhu's in Namhata programs. Srila Prabhupada always stressed the power of the Hare Krishna mantra. By chanting, one gets purified and become eligible to understand Krishna. Actually, when I started chanting, when I started in Namhata program, and I wasn't really sure, whether I'm doing the right thing or not thing. But I still remember the Amrit Prabhu always mentioned that the chanting will reveal. And I was thinking, when it is going to reveal, when it's going to reveal. But it is, yes, slowly, slowly. Now I realize that what is the importance of the chanting. And the chanting is like, when you breathe in and breathe in especially. How you feel that, yes, how you feel alive. The same way I feel that if you're not chanting, then it's not good for me. But when I chanting, I feel that yes, I am alive. So that sort of things, it is not only by yourself, but it comes with the association and the proper guidance, and which I got it through our Namhata program headed by Amrish Guruji. So thank you, Amrish Guruji. Thank you tolerating me, rather, I'll say, because I'm not, 100% perfect. I am not even qualified to give my realization, but I'm learning through the devotees and the Amrish Prabhu. Bhakti actually, Krishnadas Prabhu, he emphasized on the bhakti. So bhakti is really is great. Then we have to even a simple person can attain Krishna if they serve him with love. So that love that comes only from the bhakti. So offer everything to Krishna, like our work, food, thoughts, and words. And by doing this, karma does not bind us. So what that means to me is, like we always learn that you offer food, yes, we offer works, offer thoughts, but most of the time, our we when we are not chanting, and we always think about material things. But when you are really sincerely thinking of 24/7, that those things that never comes, never touch in your thought, which I experiencing slowly, but not 100%. Yes, but I'm trying my level best. So we have to need actually loving relationship with God. As I developed this by listening to Srila Prabhupada, then Maharaj, Amrish Prabhu, and the senior devotees and their realization, and then of course the association of the all the devotees. So on this, I just conclude my realization that on this occasion, I pray that Lord Krishna, please appear. I pray for everybody that, O Krishna, please appear in our hearts, cleanse us of selfish desires, and let us become your instrument and serve you with love. So let us celebrate the Janmashtami by offering our lives to Krishna so that everyone becomes Janmashtami, a festival of divine love. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sapan Prabhu, Hare Krishna, for your points and realizations. So, as we started off, that the chanting comes through authority, it is very important to understand these points, that the power of attorney is given. And we just are transparent medium. Everybody is given power of attorney themselves. Yes, you also should do. You should also do. But we should become qualified to do so. You see, biggest power of attorney Mahaprabhu has given, magnanimity. But that doesn't mean that we take it very lightly. That is our misfortune. That is the reason why we require authorities like Guru Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj to say, don't take it so lightly. So as we grow in the future, as all of you are teaching, all of you are preaching, and make sure that the power of attorney is given to you when you're preaching. You give a power of attorney, but don't make it cheap. It's for everybody. We say that everybody can preach, should preach. But it is very important before we go independently allowing them to do so. They have been trained properly, proper structure. Otherwise, the message may get diluted. The most important thing is the message. The whole parampara is living in the message. So that point is very critical. In Maharishi Goswami Maharaj, the Gurudev would always say this point too, that okay, now you know the philosophy, you know our way, so now you do your things. So now you know our way is very important. Now you know our philosophy. Now you know our mood is very important. So we insist upon this mood part, and it is very important. Do not compromise on this. I may request this to the leaders group, who are preaching. So as we give the power of attorney, you and you give the power of attorney, we are not going to come and check you. But remember, one thing is very important. The mercy of parampara is flowing through the seniors to us, and from us to our juniors. to their juniors. They'll become seniors too one day, to their juniors. So as long as we follow, we are in the mercy. I always say this. The moment we do not follow, or moment we are not dedicated 100%, we will see the difference. We ourselves will see the difference if we are not 100% following, taking the mercy. So long as we are taking 100% mercy, 100% loyalty, we are in a complete shelter of the whole parampara, of this succession, so Siksha. If you are not, we'll see the difference. I can guarantee you this. You'll find it. Something goes wrong, something will start going wrong. You will know this. So it's all up to us. And there is a reason why we all have to go back to Godhead on our own with Janmashtami. It's a very important message. So we choose, we take our choices, we move ahead. Exactly as it is discussion in the Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu. No difference. So make the most of the mercy and go back to Godhead. Whichever way you are, we left it open to all of you. Yeah, we all have choices to be made. Yeah, so we can make you power of thinking and give power of attorney. So make the most of it. Very nice. Thank you very much. Okay, who'd like to go next now? Hare Krishna.
Karusha. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Happy Sri Krishna Janmashtami to all of you. And thank you very much for the devotees for the nice realizations. So I was just having a conversation at home with Krishna Sabha and Krishna Prabhu this morning, and there's a few realizations that we resonated or kind of shared and felt the same about. And so my theme basically, or my thought process for this Janmashtami was based on like not to be complacent in your devotional service and to push oneself out of that comfort zone to go to the next level. So we were just thinking, I'll just share one or two points that me and Krishna Sabha, Krishna Prabhu were talking about, and that was about his touch based upon transcendental devotional, loving devotional service. And my camera might be off because there's a few notes I've made in my mobile and then a few here. So I'm just going to go to my points. So the point that came to our mind was that we are surrounded, we're surrounded by different energies. There's positive energies, there's negative energies, some Krishna conscious favorable energies, some not Krishna conscious favorable energies. And the observation was that negative energies always attracts. So for example, like even in the media or in, if you're watching something, any negative news always has more views or attention. And why this point was about that we are in this material world because of that split second of us wanting to lord it over and be independent of Krishna. So that point was covered by Krishna. That's about lording it over. And we're thinking about this, and I'm thinking that just that one mistake, that split second mistake of thinking that I want to be independent from Krishna has caused us so dearly. And has caused us zillions of lifetimes now to get back to our original position. And so just recognizing that and not coming to a level of consciousness where we do not commit this mistake ever again. And so how do we do that? So thinking about this different zones of consciousness. So our primary devotional service is an activity in Hare Krishna WECAN is trying to preach. And so how does that help to achieve that consciousness? So I was thinking, everyone is in the basic consciousness about self. It's always about me. What is in it about me, for me? And so Srila Gurudev, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj always said that preaching is for our own self. We are not eligible to preach to others or anything like that. It's only, we are a medium. So I was thinking this zones of consciousness, from coming to being about me to not be about me, then not be about me to coming to thinking about others, and then from thinking about others, then thinking about devotees, about parampara, and then of course ultimately Sri Radha Krishna. So how do you zone yourself and not then go back to the consciousness and get pulled again? And so here then the association is very, very important. Association of right-minded devotees, like-minded devotees. So then the focus doesn't go away from what you want to achieve in your life. And in this, there was a reference by His Grace Amrish Prabhuji in one of the Wednesday classes that it was very nicely said that the difference is that in the material world, everything is teaching us how to be independent. But as soon as you enter the spiritual realm or consciousness, then it teaches you to be fully dependent. So it's a very nice distinguishing factor. And Krishna Sabharma Krishna Prabhu also touched base upon this. If you feel like you're not in control, then you can't handle it. And I resonate with that as well. It's the same for me. And then we're thinking, okay, well, if that's the case, then how are we ever going to be able to be dependent on Krishna and then allow Krishna to take charge? And why are we not doing that? We are not doing that because we don't have the faith that if we are fully dependent on Krishna, then Krishna will certainly do the best and take care of us. And then we have examples in front of us, Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev. We have seen how they're fully dependent on Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada said, you can also be like me. The only difference is that you're not sincere. If you're sincere, then You can achieve that. So, yeah, we want to, I'm talking for myself, because at some stage, I mean, I have to learn to be dependent. And try to do my devotional service in such a way that I don't have any, as Krishna's mentioned again. Sorry, I'm mentioning him a lot because we had this conversation. So not have any material desires. And so in that when I'm doing any form of my devotional service, then the focus is only and only to please Krishna and please Guru and Krishna. And not be acknowledged that, oh, I'm something great or whatever, because we all think we're very great, right? And at least, I mean, I think I'm very great and I'm very unique. And then when I was thinking about this, I said, okay, we have 8.4 million species of life. Human consciousness, higher consciousness is 400,000. I'm unique, but I have to fit in that 400,000. Now there are billions and millions and zillions of people, right? But everyone has to fit in that 400,000 levels of consciousness. Krishna is not saying, oh, this person is so unique that now there is 400,001 levels of consciousness. That's not happening. So that's nice, if you think like that, then it kind of grounds you down, which is so important. And why I'm talking about all these things is because also remember Srila Prabhupada mentioning how mind is in a drunken state. So the effect of the mind, which is the subtle body, the intelligence is above the mind, but the living entity, the living force, the reason why we are alive, as so to speak, is because of the spiritual, because of the soul, the super soul in the in our body. And the soul is so powerful, yet the mind has so much impact on the soul because it's covering the consciousness. And it's driving everything, all the desires, the thoughts, the actions. So how do you then make your mind not into a drunken state and make your mind your friend? So Srila Gurudev, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, said that this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 15, verse 22, is a solution for all the miseries of getting rid of all the miseries. So I'm just going to sing the verse. Asankalpajayet kamam krodham kama vivarjana arthanardhikshaya lobham bhayam tatvavamarshasana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By making plans with determination, one should give up lusty desires for sense gratification. Similarly, by giving up envy, one should conquer anger. By discussing the disadvantages of accumulating wealth, one should give up greed. And by discussing the truth, one should give up fear. So this is a very beautiful verse. And what struck for me was by making plans with determination. So what is the plan that we are making with determination? In the purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai, there's a mention about the example given in this regard is that even if one is hungry, if on a particular day he is determined to observe fasting, he can naturally conquer the disturbances of hunger and thirst. If one is determined not to be envious of anyone, he can naturally conquer anger. Similarly, one can give up the desire to accumulate wealth simply by considering how difficult it is to protect the money in one's possession. So thus, if one discusses the disadvantages of accumulating wealth, he can naturally give up business without difficulty. So what the determination should be is very important. So we make a lot of plans. We have a lot of plans with determination, but we need to make the right plans in order to be able to achieve our ultimate goal of going back, because we want to go back to Godhead, but we also don't want to come back. We don't want to fall down. So how do we then do that? How do we practice that? That means you have to be fully convinced that you don't want to come back to this material world. There has to be no material desire left for us. In this respect, Srila Prabhupada also says that I remember the conversation we had, the class we had on the Shamantaka jewel, Krishna and the Shamantaka jewel, and in there, Prabhuji's Grace, Amrish Prabhuji mentioned in his realization that how Krishna had to, how Krishna was not recognized by everyone, how he was also insulted, and how he was treated in spite of being the supreme personality of Godhead. And sometimes for the bigger purpose, Krishna tolerates, and as devotees we learn to do the same. So Srila Prabhupada says in this respect, do not miss the opportunity that you have got in this human form. And this is what I'm telling myself every single day. In spite of no matter what, you have to have that level of consciousness that we have to recognize the importance of this human form and why this human form and what the purpose is. Just have gone to this. Yeah, so just on that point, where although Krishna gave the message of Bhagavad Gita and many people miss the opportunity. So therefore, Krishna, out of his compassion, came as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to spread this message. Where Krishna said, first of all, you surrender, but Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just giving us this message. And the instruction is for everyone to preach the message of Lord Krishna. And this is very, very, personally, I feel it's very, very important, because it has changed my life a lot. And if there is anything that we gain, then it's a natural tendency for us to share that with others. And that is the most important activity for us in Hare Krishna weekend. And we're just hoping that not only can we be able to be a part in spreading Lord Krishna's glories, Radharani's glories, but the glories of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev to more and more souls who need this. On that note, stop my realization. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for realizations. Hare Krishna. So yes, to lord to our material nature made us bonded to this material world. And how much to be bonded, how long to remain bonded is up to us. So it's our choice. Don't blame anybody else. It's our mess, total mess. And we expect somebody else to clean for us. That we are not teaching you here. Sorry. If somebody else is teaching you that, wonderful, you must go and join that person. That your mess, even if you don't clean, we'll clean for you. Very nice. Please do. I doubt it, but anyway, it's up to you. But we have to clean our own mess. Clean our own mess. We should take the responsibility. Okay. Thank you very much. Who'd like to go next now?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Happy Janmashtami to all of you. And may God, Lord Krishna bless you with his devotional service to you. Thank you, His Grace Ambrish Prabhu, Her Grace Purna Pagna Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing this program and creating this opportunity and setting up a tone how to celebrate Janmashtami. And I may not fit into the criteria which you have posted, which you have just repeated. So please stop me that, yeah, Prabhuji, you are talking nonsense. Don't talk. So I'll be happy with that, Prabhu. But I'll try to stick. I was just counting, this is my 19th Janmashtami celebration with you. So I have seen many types of Janmashtami celebration with you in different mood, different places, there's some circumstances. And now it's so different. Since I know you very well, and I know that whatever you say, there is a reason, there is a science, there is a situation. That's why you say like this. So sometimes it becomes hard to absorb, but this is the 19th Janmashtami celebration. So there are people who may be 21, 22 here. I have learned a lot. So I thank for that all the time. And I'll try to just quickly touch base on what inspired me to celebrate the Janmashtami on my own. This is the first time when I'm home alone. Okay, so it's a very, very interesting situation. The first verse which came to my mind when we started preparing for this was this verse, Prabhu, which you might have discussed, which I might have missed it because I joined a little late, which is Janma Karma Chave Divyam Emam Yoveti Tattvataha Tvatya Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mameti So Arjuna. So this we have read hundreds of times, and translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One knows the transient nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attracts my eternal abode, O Arjuna. And this is what we are trying to do. I don't need to give lecture onto this. This is Prabhupada has written a purport, and this is Krishna talking about giving straight, clear-cut instruction that what is the process. The problem is that in spite of being the process, we talked about this starting from Sanjeev Prabhu, Sopan Prabhu, and Punjapanga Devsi, Dasi Mataji, and Krishna Prabhu. The problem is illusion. We struggle. Everybody is basically talking about struggle, how to do it, what is right, what should be done. So that also Krishna covers very nicely in Bhagavad Gita. In that famous verse, Prabhu, Manushyanam sahasresu kaschideti siddhaye, shatatam api siddhanam kaschinam vitito. It's not for everyone. That's what you just said. Yeah, there are people who will do yagya for you, who will do tapasya for you, who will do japa for you, and they want you to go back to Godhead or whatever. Yeah, this is happening all the time. This is very unfortunate, but this is actually happening. And then this is for this lifetime when we are actually, it's very hard that Mataji said that 400 types of consciousness, human consciousness, you know. So Manushyanam Sahasre, so hard. Then even not only this life, in previous life also, Bahunam Janmanam Vante Gyanvan Ma Prapantate Vasudevan Sarvamiti Samahatma Sadulabha. Even with previous life, it takes time to actually come to this stage. So we are very fortunate that we are able to celebrate Janmashtami by remembering Krishna in the association of like-minded devotees, and we take full advantage of changing our consciousness. Amrish Prabhu, I do a very difficult job, and I know that it's not perfect. All these young ones keep asking me how to do it. Okay, we give a lecture, we give a this and that. Can we do this? Can we not do this? And believe me, that takes a lot of my I should say, or I should not know, intelligence, that how I actually understand you and tell these young ones that what to do, what not to do. And practical implementation of those instructions. Okay, we should do this, we do that, and yeah, we talk a lot of things. But when you actually tell them what to do it, and they can relate it, that yes, and then I quote them, this is what Amrish told you. I never say, ask them, they're here, or Maharaj has told us like this. Yeah, I may look that I'm not doing that, but I never compromise. And if at all, then I talk to you. And so that's one thing which I was remembering on Janmashtami, that it's really very difficult to tell them how to do it. What to do it is, I think it's, yeah, Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and yeah. So again, you have to read those realizations. Again, you have to meditate onto this, and then you don't have to contaminate with your own thinking. Now, when I was preparing for this thing, so I know it may not be in the context, but when I was reading Canto 10, Chapter 3, where Advent of Krishna conscious, where Krishna is talking about, there are a lot of things which came to my mind, which I have never even thought about. So my point is this, that, okay, we are teaching you how to become a preacher, how to do this, how to do this, how to do the consciousness. But as Amrish Prabhu says, that you have to study those scriptures also yourself. They are not going to be a Bhagavad Saptaha or a Bhagavad month, and you will become knowledgeable. So it's very important. What we are teaching here, or what we teach in Hare Krishna WECAN, that how to actually be Krishna conscious, how to follow the instructions, how to follow the mood, how to actually implement these things. So That is again, when I look back at Janmashtami, and I remember we'll go to temple, make garlands, whole night we'll sit there, and Amrish will give class in the temple, oh man, and then we'll come back and again rush back to Mangal Aarti at 4 o'clock. Those were, what a time that was. Means still, when we think about it, okay, it was very hard, but believe me, Amrish, we just loved it. And sometimes we said, why Amrish want us to go so early in the morning? And he was so hard on us. Believe me, that hardness you have not seen. Correct, Amrish Prabhu? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, you will make us to come. Okay, what time you finish? Oh, you 5 o'clock. What time you reach? Okay, this time. Okay, why you have not reached? Okay. So that thing is not there anymore. So I don't know if you're fortunate or unfortunate, but I have seen that. We have done Abhishek, we have done everything, but we have slowly moved into this. And in the process, the concept in the very early stage, when Amrish will talk about changelessness, no, in the fast changing world, Krishna Prabhu very nicely said, this material desires, Prabhu, material desire is a disease. We are sick of this material desire. It cannot go away. But we understand the concept of changelessness and how to get this changelessness in the world which is continuously changing. And I'm telling you, this cannot be done by following some rules or some rituals. This is my realization. I may be wrong. It is a consciousness thing. It is something which you, as we have heard from him, that our struggle is that how do you remember Krishna continuously? That's our struggle, no? We forget Krishna. And anybody who can remember Krishna continuously is a pure devotee. So that changelessness will come, or desirelessness will come, when the more we become Krishna conscious. And that's what we are trying to practice here. You are all great people. You are very lucky to be in touch with Amrish Prabhu and Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. So please don't give up. There may be, it's not that difficult time now. It's very soft. We are online. We don't know what we are doing after the class, before the class. But before that, yeah, our life was very transparent. I know I can say Krishna Prabhu is smiling also. Krishna Prabhu, you are little. So that's okay. So we all loved it. And coming back to this, the other philosophy which comes to my mind all the time, which helps me a lot when I'm answering questions to these people, is Achinta Bheda Ved philosophy, which I learned from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Means that is a standout point. And if you don't understand this point, that I think a couple of Wednesday class before, in the Wednesday class, we were talking about that Bhagavatam is in layers, no? Bhagavatam cannot be understood. And if it understood, it cannot be implemented. It is so bewildering. So that Achita Veda philosophy is something which come to my mind while thinking about Janmashtami, while thinking about how to actually be consistent. And as Sopan Prabhu said, and he repeated a note I have also made. Janmashtami is every day. Krishna is not only for one day. Krishna is for every day. Like if you go to a temple, there's a big crowd, means people are pushing and all those things happening, and they're giving money and all those things are happening. And next day when there is a Prabhupada, their parents, there are hardly 50, 60 people. This is not only here in Auckland. I've spoken to devotees in Nagpur also, same situation there also. So Janmashtami is not one day thing. Janmashtami is everyday thing. And that's Maharaj instruction. So that's very important. So we don't keep it for one day. We are like that all the time. That's our practice. And the other realization which came to my mind, that in Canto 10, Chapter 3, where we remember what Devaki Mata and Vasudeva Maharaj went through to get Krishna as the son, the austerity they performed. They got their 7 babies killed in front of them. I just had a baby to my daughter, and we cannot even imagine that situation. They got 7 killed, 6 killed. Then Krishna was given to someone else. Imagine that situation. Those were mothers, those were, whatever. It's so hard. Similarly with Vasudev's situation, those austerity, what they have performed, even the previous life, what they have gone through. We are so fortunate that we don't have to go through all those situations. And in the purport, Prabhupada writes, clarifies this point in the same thing, that in the Kali Yuga, by continuously remembrance of Krishna or following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction, we can actually go back to Godhead. It is so simple. It's only up to us, as we keep repeating here, it's only up to us that how we do it. And my realization for this Janmashtami before I close is that I'll focus, considering my age. I'm considering my age, considering my situation. I'm getting closer to end of life, much before than all of you. Is how I become more austere. How do I perform more penances, and how do I actually can do more sacrifices? And that all can be done by becoming more Krishna conscious. We don't have to do any drama. But how do we change that situation? How do we actually apply this knowledge? That's up to us. So I'll pray all of you as a Vaishnava, please bless me so that I can celebrate this Janmashtami not once in a year, every day. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You're doing very well. I can tell that we're answering all the questions. You can see the results, with the devotees, and they are all been trained up very nicely. And it is very good, very, very good, very, very nice. It's very inspiring to us.
No
Very,
problem.
very inspiring to us.
No.
Well, I'm telling you the truth. You know, I always speak the truth.
No problem. Anybody can do it. Whosoever keep repeating the message, what has been given to them. That's it. That's what I keep telling them. Don't mix with anything. That's what I do, Prabhu. Maybe I'm doing more often.
Yeah. Probably there is a reason why I could withstand all kinds of tribulations when somebody would say he's like a demon. When telling people, do this, do that, don't do this, do that, or the Adolf Hitler and so many things. And they think, the program would have stopped functioning 20 years ago. The people were there. They're surprised it's still going on. I'm also surprised. Not only that. But Bhagavatam, see, there's a very beautiful verse, You reminded me of this verse. I was reading this verse just recently. Of course, it is in a very initial stage. It is mentioned this verse. I'll have to sing this verse. Please bear with me. It's a very big verse, a complicated verse, but it's very nice. It speaks about the glories of Bhagavatam, what it is. It is its own religion. Just bear with me as I figure out the tune here. Dharma projita kaitavo atra paramo nirmatsaranam sutam vedyam vastayam atra vastu shidhavam tapa trayo mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamunikrute Kim va parerishvaraha Sadyorudi avarudhyate atra krutibhihi Shushru Shushrusubhistat kshanat. See the translation. So, of course, a big translation. It's very, very powerful. This talks about Bhagavatam, and he understands this, that those who study Bhagavatam, why they should be very cutthroat, cutting throat, cut the throat, say here. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. This Bhagavad Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. 113, very initial stage, very beautiful. The first few verses are very powerful verses like this. And then we've got the second chapter, which Srila Prabhupada liked very much. So we should be reciting that, So thank you very much. I remember this verse. I said, you mentioned one part that I read it just now, this point had come. It is where any religion which talks about material gratification, any materially motivated religion, number of followers, number of this, or only rich people can do, poor people cannot do, hypocrisy cannot have, it rejects it. It cannot remain for the Bhagavatam. It becomes a shadow of Bhagavatam. So we are very fortunate that somehow or other, Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj has mentioned this point that you come in touch with Srila Prabhupada like this very much. So please, we should be very serious and very fortunate to be in Prabhupada's shelter like this. That it is impossible. Impossible. Without this, it was locked and kept in the lock and key, A small mukham karoti vanchalam pangum langate giram. Otherwise, who am I, rascal? I'm talking big Bhagavatam in this verse and that verse and talking to people. So all glories to all of you, who are sincere followers of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev, who are keeping us intact in our path of realization. So thanks to you. Thanks to all of you. Hare Krishna. Yes. Who would like to speak? Please feel free.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Happy Janmashtami to all. Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai, Srila Gurudev ji ki jai. And thank you, His Grace Ambrish Prabhuji, our guest Punbega Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing this very important program on this auspicious day of Janmashtami and encouraging us to share our realizations from what we learned. So I was thinking, what topic that we actually discussed in the past and what we learned. So I was thinking, and actually the first thing that came to my mind is Amrish Prabhu gave the lecture on having this one struggle to actually remember Krishna's remembrance of Krishna. So I was thinking on this point, and many devotees gave their actually realizations and lecture on this point as well. So I was thinking, actually on this auspicious day of Janmashtami, so how that is relevant. So I remember His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, actually Melo, I remember this a long time when I first read it, that Maharaj says that we have to actually welcome Krishna every day, not just on Janmashtami. So every day we have to actually wake up, we have to do the Mangalarti, if not Mangalarti, Phularti. And Maharaj says, even if you're late, do not make the excuse to skip it. I remember this discussion, so you should welcome Krishna, because when Krishna appears, everything become auspicious, And I used to think about this point because when I was new, actually, started doing the puja, small dhup puja I used to do. And I was very obnoxious at that time, because I used to make excuses because not very regular. But slowly, actually, as I started chanting and all that, then naturally you develop a taste. So even today, actually, when I read this post, Janmashtami post by Amrish Prabhu, actually wishing everyone the Sri Krishna Janmashtami, and he gave this reference from Srimad Bhagavatam, where the description of changes, I will just read that post. Description of changes in the atmosphere of the whole world and all the living beings when Lord Krishna personally appeared on the earth. And this is translation, where it says that thereafter, at the auspicious time for the appearance day of the Lord, the entire universe was surcharged with all the qualities of goodness, beauty, and peace. The constellation Rohini appeared, as did the stars like Ashwini. The sun, the moon, and the other stars and planets were very peaceful. All directions appeared extremely pleasing, and the beautiful stars twinkled in the cloudless sky, decorated with towns, villages, mines, and pasturing grounds. The earth seemed all auspicious. The rivers flowed with clear water, and the lakes and the vast reservoirs, full of lilies and lotuses, were extraordinarily beautiful. In the trees and green plants, full of flowers and leaves, pleasing to the eyes, birds like cuckoos and swarm of bees began chanting with the sweet voices for the sake of the demigods. A pure breeze began to blow, pleasing the sense of touch and bearing the aroma of flowers. And when Brahmanas engaging in ritualistic ceremonies ignited their fires according to the Vedic principles, the fires burned steadily, undisturbed by the breeze. Thus, when birthless Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was about to appear, the saints and Brahmanas, who had always been disturbed by the demons like Kams and his mane, felt peace within the core of their hearts, and kettle drums simultaneously vibrated from the upper planetary system. So this description from Srimad Bhagavatam, actually I heard the lecture as well previously on these points, and this is just in anticipation, to the actually Krishna's appearance. So I was meditating on this point, and actually when I remember this Guru Maharaj's Melo, when after reading this, so it felt like, actually describe, as Guru Maharaj says, everything become auspicious, it's Krishna's appearance. And also, as devotees also shared, the point that Janmashtami should not be just one day. Every day we should actually celebrate Janmashtami. I remember actually where actually Guru Maharaj mentioned that there is a lot of people come to the temple, celebrating the dance, and actually glorify Krishna on Janmashtami. But the real taste is actually the days after the Janmashtami, who's still coming, who's still actually constantly glorifying Krishna. So that is the real taste of our actually bhakti. Are we still interested on daily basis? So I was also meditating on a similar point, that actually we have to actually welcome Krishna every day, not just actually by actually doing puja, but also we have to welcome, we have to actually intensify our remembrance. So this point of remembrance, I was thinking that actually when Amrish Prabhu gave that lecture, and he said that actually he will leave it to us, whether we want to make that struggle our own as well. And I was thinking that actually all these actually instructions, we have been given about chanting 16 rounds, actually doing the puja, doing the cooking, offering, doing the preaching, studying the scriptures, and everything what I did means we do. And I have seen other devotees are doing so many things. So ultimately boils down to the one point, it's all about actually remembering Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada actually in one of his lecture, to the same famous verse everybody shared, Savai Pumsa Parodharma, he was talking on that verse, and he said this point that actually you can actually, make Krishna's remembrance, constant. You can be he said, yogast 24/7. We just has to actually change the way actually we do things. As Amrishpu also said, that we have to keep Krishna in the middle. All the activities that we do, it should be in relationship with the Krishna. Because initially and I used to differentiate, this is actually devotional thing, this is material thing, all these things. So later Amrishpu said, oh, do you think that you are doing material things? Then I said, yes, my job is material, these things I do is material, and chanting is spiritual, puja is spiritual. But actually I didn't know that point of actually when we do even material activity with a spiritual intent. Amrishpu always said that even if you're doing material job, but your intention that you actually use that income in Krishna's service, even the portion of it, will purify that income. So that's how actually you make everything actually spiritual. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, you can go for shopping for Krishna, you can cook for Krishna, you can sing for Krishna, and all these things. So if you are actually mold our lives in such a way, then that remembrance can become constant. Actually we can remember Krishna all the time. So sometime I feel that actually how I have been preached, as Avinash Prabhu also mentioned that point, actually how we used to do services in the past. Actually, every Saturday we used to do actually services on different festivals and all that, and it was used to feel very lively, very actually very busy. We were physically very much active at that time, but I should actually agree that I wasn't very focused philosophically or reading scripture at that time. I was very much just listening to Amrish Prabhu's lectures at the time. Or even actually, people don't used to talk that much in our program, so they actually devised many methods to get us to talk. And slowly, with every time they improved the bar. So now you're speaking, then you now actually speak. Start giving references, then try to connect the references, and now we give the references away, and now we say only what we studied, don't jump. So this is slow progression I can see. And sometimes, as even Avinash Prabhu said, sometimes feel bound by these restrictions, but it challenges us to think, actually maybe on our feet what we learn, maybe it's a test of what we understood, can we able to really connect. So yes, and as Krishna actually spoke all these instructions in Bhagavad Gita, you can pretty much connect everything to the Krishna's appearance as well. So it's true actually. And I was meditating, when I say remembrance, then the first verse came to my mind is the actually Bhagavad Gita verse chapter 8 verse 5. Ant kaleche mameva smaran mukta kalevaram ya prayati sa madbhavam yati nasti atra samshayah. And Srila Prabhupada gave it's a short purport, but very meaningful purport, where I actually read multiple times, even if we studied this verse many moons ago. And when we read it again, it sounds all new, actually, because even I don't remember when I studied this and share my realization. But actually, I try to say, okay, what Srila Prabhupada is saying, actually, the translation says that whoever at the end of his life quits his body remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this, there is no doubt. So Krishna is giving a full assurance, actually, that if we make this actually remembrance or focus, then there is an assurance that actually we will go back to Godhead. And in one of the lectures, Srila Prabhupada always mentioned that you fill your life with Krishna's memories. Actually, the memory of chanting, memory of doing services, all these things that we do, the preaching, if you feel, then there is a good possibility or probability that you may remember Krishna. That is ultimate grace. That there is no, that, yeah, you will remember. So it's up to Krishna that if you can able to remember, as we sing the song, you can only remember Krishna if Krishna remembers you. So now I understand that point. When I used to sing first time, I didn't understand. I said, okay, I remember Krishna. So I used to think it is I'm remembering it, but actually it's Krishna's mercy, as remembrance come from him as well. So in a purport, actually Srila Prabhupada is saying that, I don't read the whole thing, but we're saying that actually Anyone who is constantly Krishna conscious is also purest of the pure. The word smaran, remembering, is important. Remembrance of Krishna is not possible for impure soul who has not practiced Krishna consciousness in devotional service. Therefore, one should practice Krishna consciousness from the very beginning of life. If one wants to achieve success at the end of his life, the process of remembering Krishna is essential. So Srila Prabhupada calls it essential. There is no other option. So we have to actually practice. And when we chant, I realize that the intention should be remember Krishna. Sometimes actually means I do get busy, with the work schedule or whatever, family problems, all those. And it's just the objective is to finish the 16 rounds. So we're going on the ramp and quickly chanting my rounds, and actually once we're done, we are happy. But how much we actually remembered, actually are we there when we chanting? As Guru Maharaj always say, it's our appointment with Krishna when we chant. And I vividly remember this point actually when we used to do services, back in temple, as Avinash Prabhu said, that we used to be busy whole day. And in the end, Amrish Prabhu used to say that very well done, everything, and now you go take a hot shower, and then you chant sincerely, because all the services that we've done should culminate in a sincere chanting. And I used to think, oh my God, I said, I'm so tired, and I have to go back and start chanting 16 rounds back again. So I used to do it reluctantly, sometime actually, keep it, maybe didn't finish it next day, chant, as Guru Maharaj always instructed, you should keep balance about chanting. So that was very important, So we used to keep account how much I left, and account sometimes used to grow every day. So which is not good. Now, I'm a little bit improved. I don't try to keep anything in my account. But that was very important, that actually the importance of chanting, and even actually, somebody actually few times ago, Amrish also shared the post about actually even, there are many excuses. I cannot focus, I cannot do this, cannot do that. And there is an instruction of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, still chant, because it's highest principle. Because actually the holy name in itself is so pure, as you say, the Lord is the purest of the pure, it will purify you in the end. So Krishna's Guru, actually Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj's mercy is there, that actually we have to develop this faith, that actually this process will help me in the end. The philosophy is very important. And I remember this conversation with Avinash Prabhu as well, that we used to say, when I first start reading Bhagavatam, and I'd studied and I said, Avinash Prabhu, I said, all the verses I read, and they all culminate into this just one realization, do the devotional service for Krishna, remember Krishna, and that's all. Actually means most of the verses culminate like that. And I said, that's the point, that Srila Prabhupada actually, all this instruction is given in different ways, actually in different pastimes or Krishna's Leelas, to convince us of this point. This point is so important, that actually remembrance of Krishna is the ultimate aim. Because if we fail to remember Krishna when we leave our body, then actually we lost the game. Actually, there's no possibility of going back to Krishna unless you have extreme causeless mercy from Guru Maharaj or Srila Prabhupada, who will drag us. So yes, we cannot do this on our own. So it's very important. And Srila Prabhupada says that, Lord Chaitanya has advised that one has to be tolerant as a tree. There's very famous instruction, Tarorapi Sahishnunda. There may be so many impediments for a person who is chanting Hare Krishna. Nonetheless, tolerating all these impediments, one should continue to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, so that at the end of one's life, one can have the benefit, the full benefit of Krishna conscious. So Srila Prabhupada in his purport, said that yes, everybody will face impediments, and it's so true. I faced many impediments, and I'm still facing many impediments. So problems will come and go, actually, and you will always run out of a time. You're always under family pressure or work pressure. But actually, what I realized that Amrish Prabhu used to say that even if it's so late, on the festival days, he still used to stay awake and finish chanting even at the tail of the night. So that was a commitment. I couldn't able to do at first, but later, actually, I try to practice this. And nowadays I always practice. even is so tired, actually, just one round, one more round, and then again one more round, and then one more round, and you finish it, and you feel very happy about it. So yes, you can do it, actually, if you're willing to do it, then Krishna will give you all the energy to do that. So that is what my personal realization, even actually realization sometimes is very, very hard to actually get the practical realization sometime. And you pray to Krishna, and finally you understand something, you come up with something. But if you're not focusing, then you always run short. That we think, because sometimes there's a technical purport you don't understand. And I'm so very short, I'm not really intelligent. But when I hear, so this forum is good, as Amrish initially mentioned, that actually hearing to the realization of a devotees is very important, because we cannot think in a way everybody thinks. So it's very I found it very beneficial, and I always think, oh, I never thought like that. I never thought in this way. So different meanings can be shared by the actually different devotees, and is always benefit, always benefit everyone. So I was meditating this on this point of actually remembering Krishna, so problems will come and go, and especially on a Janmashtami, actually, yes, everybody want to celebrate, everybody want to actually have a big feast and all that. But the most important thing I think we should not forget is to remember Krishna, because actually Krishna is appearing, and we should welcome him, because as Bhagavad Gita says, yada yada hi dharmasya, the Krishna is appearing to actually re-establish the religious principles that is actually prevalent in the society. And I was thinking, oh, how come it's become prevalent, so it's not coming from out of nowhere, it is coming from us, because we are acting irreligiously. So first we have to purify ourselves, so Krishna has to appear in our heart, so he can drive away the ignorance, So it's all about actually us, we think that, oh, we are born in Kali Yuga, so it's a Yuga's fault, we are so disadvantaged and all that. Because I remember I asked this question to Amrish Prabhu when I was very new, that I remember the Amrish Prabhu, is it my fault that I'm born in this Yuga, that I'm having this difficult time? Or is that actually my karma that I born in this time? So it was actually, when I think, it is sometime I said, okay, it's all my fault in the end, because it is my karma that actually I'm facing all these difficulties. It's not yoga or anything. It is what I do or what I've done in the past that actually I am having this difficulty. And the only way is to keep chanting. So ultimately it will purify your karma. It will purify you, and hopefully we'll able to chant with the purity that Srila Prabhupada said, that if you can chant purely, you can go back to you can go back, to the Godhead. You don't need anything else. But actually getting to that stage is a challenge, and I think is unless we actually keep trying, keep endeavoring, as when Sanjay Prabhu mentioned, and thank you actually all the devotees, Sanjay Prabhu, Sopan Prabhu, Avinash Prabhu, Punpagya Mataji, and Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu, for all your nice realizations. They're all very inspiring, and very different as well. That actually we learn a lot, from hearing from others devotees' realization. So yes, thank you very much. And actually, my prayer, this Janmashtami is that somehow I can become this actually remembrance of Krishna, constant and sincere, that Guru Maharaj say we should not miss the appointment, we should not make any of this a ritual. So I didn't understand that instruction, that doing the puja, doing the chanting should not make it a ritual. Initially I thought I should make a ritual so I should not miss it. But Guru Maharaj said, do not make it ritual, it should be fresh as new every day. And then I understood, yeah, that's right. Actually, we are very attentive when we chant for first time. I still remember my first round, but I thought, God, means when is going to finish? And I still keep chanting, it's such a long round. But now we chant easily, So that is a proof to myself that if you try, if you endeavor, things will get easier, Even this sound, as they say, actually, the mountains at the far distance, they seem unconquerable. But once you start actually climbing, eventually it get easier. So that is my remember actually the point I want to focus and pray, and I pray to all the devotees, so you can please bless me, so I can able to actually make that actually this objective in a reality. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sridhar Prabhu, very nice. Thank you very much for a wonderful realization. Yes, that's correct. And we are very happy that you like this forums and realizations. All of us do, and we also like to hear from you, your points and your realizations. They're very inspiring to us. And problems will never go away, as Maharaj would say. That don't think Krishna. We don't want Krishna to become our order supplier. Krishna, stop my problem, please. Hey, Krishna, this person is coming. Stop it. No, he is very kind. What happens is that sometimes as devotees, our problems may increase also. He's speeding up things. Finish it, finish it, finish it. But to the capacity that we have got, And you say sometimes when we are in difficulty, some support will come from some devotee, to give us a support for that time only, and the devotee our mood changes. Yeah. But he's very keen to clear off and cut off our issues. So don't think I face unlimited problems and insurmountable. Even now, we do not know where to go, left or right. How to solve this? What do we do? How do we do? So the idea is to just keep on the grind. Material world is there. Bhakti should go on. But one thing is there. There's one thing I always I believe myself is this, that if material things, if I do 2 times, then my spiritual things I will try and do 4 times. Successful or not is another word. Try and do 4 times. But just that's in my control, right? Just like this, a child is wanting to do the best. The father knows he's trying to do the best. He may fall down. The child may not achieve it, but the father is happy. This is nice. This is very good. So we should all have this one request, which my personal experience is that it will not go away, but try and increase it, and you will see magic happening. And magic happens when we are not allowing people to know, but our position continues, bhakti continues, preaching continues, programs continue, everything continues, unabated. That's when Krishna's magic happens. I've seen Guru Maharaj facing so many problems. And I would say, how is he facing so many problems, so difficulty? But no, insurmountable problems. It would continue, no problem. Still solving people's problems, still talking about devotees, disciples, making disciples, preaching. Said, no, continue preaching, Amrish. Do it, keep doing it, keep doing this. Other devotees also, one person. So yeah, you made me think about these points. Thank you very much. It's very nice. Constant remembrance of Krishna is the ultimate goal. And as leaders, make sure that the people who are following you, they should have only this one problem: constant remembrance of Krishna. If there are politics or anything else, then you have to weed out very quickly. Something has gone wrong there. So this is very, keep it very simple, very honest, and keep only this one problem for everybody and for our own selves. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes. Who would like to go next now? We're coming very close to the time, 12 o'clock.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much, His Grace Amrish Prabhuji, Her Grace Purnavaga Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Samarpan Krishna Prabhu for giving us this platform to share our realization. Actually, thank you, Amrish Prabhuji, for giving me opportunity, even though I'm not that great in studying philosophy and all. So my realization is, so first of all of you devotees, wish you a very happy Janmashtami. And my realization is based on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 34. Manmana bhav mad bhakto matyaji mam namaskuru mam ye vaishasi yukta vaivam atmana mata paratanaha. So in this purport, Krishna is saying that that you can always think of me, manmana bhav, always think of me. So how we think about Krishna? So the best way to always remember Krishna is to chant his holy names. And we are instructed to chant 16 rounds every day. So I'm trying to do that every day. So hopefully this will purify me. I know I commit lots of offense while chanting, but we are praying to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. So with their mercy, one day I will be able to chant purely. So hopefully, to some extent, we can able to think of Krishna all the time. I was just I read this verse yesterday, and then when we're making the garland for Krishna for today, and we were making it yesterday, and Navina was helping me to cut the flowers, and I was making garland, and then she was saying me something about the school related things, and I said, because we're making the garland, we should think about Krishna. That's what I read it in Bhagavad Gita. So we always think of Krishna. And she said, yeah, I always remember that when we used to have sometimes service of garland making, Amrish Prabhuji used to recite the verse and we used to follow. And sometimes he used to take a class and we used to focus and listening and making the garlands as well. So this is how we, try to remember what as much as we can, and we should remember Krishna all the time. Then also Krishna says that mad bhakta, that become my devotee. So become Krishna's devotee. We have to serve Krishna through our Guru Maharaj, or Guru Shishya Parampara actually. And as Amrish Prabhuji taught us, and our Guru Maharaj instructed, we try to follow their instruction and we try to do service as per our own capacity. So do whatever I can do, that's what I can able to do, and I try to engage myself in cooking service. Also sometimes I read Bhagavad Gita and I try to understand to my own capacity. I also listen to other devotees' realization and try to understand, because I'm not good to understanding the philosophy. But when I listen to devotees' realization, it's easy for me to understand what Bhagavad Gita is teaching us. Sometimes I participated before in book distribution and food distribution programs. So somehow we remain engaged, and I hope to do the same in coming days. Also the Madhyaji, that's worship me. So in regards to this, Amrish Prabhuji taught us how to do Mangalarti, and we do it every day. And it is definitely has helped us to progress in this path. Because of this, our time is engaged in serving Krishna rather than spending in material activities. So which is really good, and it is also helping my family to progress. And also we try to cook and offer bhoga to Krishna every day. So that's the service I would like to render every day. So we can serve Krishna by and also we can serve Krishna by chanting his holy names. So further Krishna says that Mam Namaskaru. So bow down to me. So we do pay obeisances, but the meaning of the pay obeisances is surrendering oneself. So surrendering is not actually just bowing down, but surrendering is permanently implementing the instruction of Krishna given in Bhagavad Gita. So instruction given in this verse by Krishna is like, if one who implement this instruction practically, they will definitely become very dear to me, very dear to Krishna, and they will have opportunity to go back to Krishna, as Krishna promised in this verse. So on this day of Janmashtami, I should make determination to actually implement this instruction daily, so that this will purify me, and somehow I can able to get rid of all our nonsensical habits and render service to our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and Shri Radha Krishna. So so I will be one day purify myself. So this is just a small realization from me. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Very good, mother. Thank you very much. Very nice. All the best to you. All the best to you. Hare Krishna. So this is how we also had our days. There was a time where we do services. It was needed to be done in the temple. In other places, now we are doing it at home, bringing home into temple. There are reasons behind it. There are very, very important reasons for it. We are not, it's open for everybody. You can do whatever you want to do. But this has benefited us. It benefited me, and I can see it's benefited all of you also. We've become very focused there. So very nice. All the best. All the best. And please make sure, whether we do it or not, right or wrong, whichever way it is, we must continue with our bhakti. 16 rounds, if you're not chanting, it is not acceptable. Beginners, okay. Intermediate level onwards, half up onwards, full stop. And I would know if you're not chanting. And we are ruthless about this. Because from beginners to upwards, that is when leadership comes. And leadership meaning we have to be very, very particular. That's when real guru you receive. This is how it is. And you should be the same thing. We are not interested in anything else. One day not every day. Full stop. If not, sorry, no problem. You can remain where you are. That's perfectly all right. But do not expect us to compromise for you. So this is how those who are here in our intermediate level is for you, especially to understand this. So in all level you can go. That's fine. And our we have structured in such a way that at any level one can progress. There's nothing that, oh, I'm not going to progress. No. Our common program is for everybody, you see. This program is for everybody. It's not that we are doing separate program for this. So it's very nice, and we also are very much benefited. But remember one thing, as leaders, do not force anyone. Speak the truth. Truth has to be worshipped. Don't look for any laurels you are going to get from somebody else. Those who gives laurels, they themselves may not be qualified to give laurels or giving a stamp of authority. We don't need it. We just need stamp of authority from our seniors, our gurus, and Krishna. That's it. Nothing else. Srila Prabhupada were always sidelined by followers of Prabhupada. They were God brothers. It's a fact. So that doesn't mean they were wrong. I'm saying this is how it is. Okay, so all of you should understand this. These are very fundamental concepts in today's day and age of social media, which is very unsocial. It's a very unsocial media. It'll give you at every stage, it is luring us to be engaged in material association. So, but if you're coming to Krishna consciousness, in Hare Krishna weekend, we have to be serious. This is very important. This is very serious. Yeah. So very nice. Thank you very much. We've got about 3 minutes now to go. By 12 o'clock, we can break our fast here. Anyone wants to say anything before we complete today? Conclude today, please. Hare Krishna. Okay, so then let us sing Maharaj, please hear us today. Yeah, before we start to conclude. Whose turn is it to sing today? Maharaj, please hear us.
Hare Krishna Prabhu ji, it's my turn Prabhu ji.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Subhadra ji, कैसे हैं आप जी?
मैं ठीक हूँ प्रभु जी, आप कैसे हैं प्रभु जी?
Very nice, very nice. हमने आपका वीडियो देखा. आप चैंटिंग करते थे, सिंगिंग करते थे. बहुत बढ़िया. All the best to you, Bhadram Te. Very nice.
Thank you प्रभु जी.
Very nice. माधव जी, आप भी करते हो? हाँ? Very nice, very nice. All the best, all the best. हाँ? ऐसे मदद करो अपने पिताजी को and keep preaching with the family. ठीक है ना? Okay, please sing. 1, 2, 3, start.
Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, please hear us.
We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some real good stuff.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
And today for you we will sing.
And today for you we will sing.
If our room is clean,
If our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is clean,
If our mind is clean,
we can do
we
anything.
can do anything.
If our room is dirty,
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
And if we are dirty,
If we are dirty,
we're not happy.
we are not happy.
Wasting time
Wasting time
is the greatest crime.
is the greatest crime.
Because wasted time
Because wasted time
means a wasted mind.
means a wasted mind.
So best use your time
So best use your time
when you're in your prime.
when you're in your prime,
And your whole life
and your whole life
will be sublime.
will be sublime.
If your wealth is gone,
If your wealth is gone,
then there is nothing wrong.
then there is nothing wrong.
But if your health is gone,
If your health is gone,
then that's a different song.
that's a different song.
If your character dies,
But if your character dies,
then the world will cry.
then the world will cry.
Only saintly behavior
Only saintly behavior
lets humanity's thrive.
lets humanity thrive.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We must always remember Krishna.
We must always remember Krishna
We never forget him too.
and never forget him too.
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
That is the greatest question.
That is the greatest question.
And here's the greatest clue.
And here is the greatest clue.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers
You
you.
must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
So listen very closely
So listen very closely
and make your thinking sharp.
and make your thinking sharp.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
If something's due tomorrow,
If something's due tomorrow,
finish it today.
finish it today.
Whatever's due today,
Whatever's due today,
do it now, don't delay.
do it now, don't delay.
Your friends might be lazy
Friends might be lazy
or doing bad
or
things,
doing bad things,
but you think again.
but you think again,
Don't follow them,
don't follow them,
and you will win in the end.
and you will win in the end.
Whatever work we're given,
Whatever work we're given,
we do our very best.
we do our very best.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you'll see Krishna every day.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, see Krishna every day.
And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance with him with our heart full of love.
When our time is up, He'll take us up above. We sing and dance with Him with a heart full of love.
To chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame, is the only way this world will ever become sane.
To chant Krishna's name, His glories and His fame, is the only way this world will ever become sane.
Now please ask this greatest question
Ask this greatest question,
and find this greatest clue.
find this greatest clue.
You can only remember Krishna
You can only remember Krishna
if Krishna remembers you.
if Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai His Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Krishna Janmashtami Mahotsav ki Jai, Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Now it's Krishna has already taken birth in New Zealand. 4 minutes over. We must all sing now. Unmute yourselves. Let us sing Happy Birthday to Krishna. And let us sing, glorify, Nanda Maharaj in his household. Big festival has happened starting today. Yeah. Nanda Gera, Nanda Bhayo, Jai Kanaya. Nanda Gera, Nanda Bhayo. Pathi Goda Palki. Jai Pathi Goda Palki. Jai Kanaya Lal ki. Oh Radharani, happy birthday to your beloved Krishna. Happy birthday to Krishna. Hare Krishna. And congratulations and our heartfelt best wishes to all of you for Krishna's birthday. Our dear Lord has appeared in our heart. Let it remain in our heart always. Bless us so we can always remember him by him remembering us. We work towards it in such a way that he will remember us. Okay, Krishna willing. Now, today morning in New Zealand time, today evening, which will be now evening 5 o'clock, it is we'll meet for Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Vyasa Puja. Because of him, we are here. So break your fast today at 12 o'clock. If you're not fasting, that's fine. Perfectly all right. Don't worry. Chant nicely. Remember Krishna. All of you are very fortunate. You've got this facility, so remember Krishna. And have Ekadashi fast. If you can't have normal fast, then fine, have normal, have no problem at all. And important thing is this, that tomorrow, remember Srila Prabhupada, and 12 o'clock onwards, if you're fasting with Ekadashi, then break your fast with normal feast at 12 o'clock onwards. Remember Prabhupada, glorify Prabhupada, and we'll meet tomorrow evening, New Zealand time, 5 o'clock onwards, and we request all of you to share your realizations. And I hope all of you gained from the realizations of the Leader Sangha program. It'll benefit everyone. It certainly benefited me. Help me remember Krishna more. Thank you very much. I being your servant, for accepting me as a servant. And tomorrow will be the last day on which our test will conclude. Where I pray to Prabhupada. If you remember the test, I'll remember it tomorrow. Krishna willing. Let us see. Still 24 hours to go. Some hours ago, less than 24 hours though. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll see you, Krishna willing. Same place, same time. Tomorrow, there's today in New Zealand, 5 o'clock in the evening. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram.